I'm Paul O'Carroll, an ag pilot. I've been president of the Saskatchewan Aerial Applicators Association and also the Canadian president of the Canadian Aerial Applicators Association. I got interested in ag flying in New Zealand. There's an aircraft down there called a Fletcher that they spread fertiliser on it. They call it top dressing. And I used to fly out with the local top dressing pilot. You know, it was a two-seater, side by side. And, you know, from the time I was 7 or 8 years old, you know, after school I'd go up to the airstrip and jump in with him and go for a fly. And I think that's where I sort of found my passion for flying, where it started. I have about 8,000 hours total time. Most of that is ag time. I've flown a variety of aircraft from the Pawnee to the ag truck, the Weatherly, ag cat, the air tractor series, 301, 401, and then into the turbines, the 402, the 502, and a little bit in the 802. And now currently flying the Thrush 510P, which I really enjoy. Most of my flying has been in an air tractor, so coming into a Thrush to get comfortable with it, it was probably 40 to 50 hours just to get the feel of it, like any new aeroplane. And then I was part of the aeroplane and I felt very comfortable in it. Wind component for a Thrush is about 15 knots, but it can handle crosswinds, I would say, better than the air tractor. Like, you know, a 20, 25 knot crosswind is not an issue for me. Yeah, I find it easier to land the Thrush actually with the tripod gear, where the air tractor has the spring gear, and I find it's a little bit more bouncier with the air tractor. So yeah, I really like landing the Thrush. Once it's on the ground, it's on the ground. I've heard guys saying that the Thrush is a bit of a ground hog. The takeoff roll is a little bit longer, maybe 100 feet more than an air tractor, say. But as soon as the Thrush leaves the ground, it's actually flying and it feels comfortable. Where I've found in the air tractor, the tail likes to start flying first, and then it gets airborne, and once airborne, then it starts flying, so to speak, and then you feel comfortable. But as soon as the Thrush leaves the ground, I'm in my comfort zone. I find it's very stable in a turn, more so than the air tractor. I feel a lot more comfortable in a turn. If you're doing a nice gentle racetrack, you can cruise around there without using flap, but if you want to crank it round, I'd put full flap on and it'll come round on a dime. I feel very comfortable in it. The configuration in it, I like the seat arrangement. You're sitting upright in it more so than the air tractor, where you're lying down in it. Heaviness on the controls is no different than any other ag plane. Visibility out of it, especially with the dual cockpit, the back window, I do like. You can see behind you, you can see your tail plane. Visibility is very good in the dual cockpit. Plus, it's handy to ferry your crew around from job to job, and at least you can fit an overnight bag in it. There's not too many ag planes where you can only pack a lunch in them, basically. Engine monitoring is good. It's all on one spot. It indicates yellow lights comes up, red light comes up, whatever, if there's an issue. So, and it even talks to you. Yeah. The biggest thing I like about the Thrush, it's a low profile aircraft. The tail is lower. I find it very good for working around wires. With the air tractor, the tail sits a little bit higher and it flies tail high, where I feel a lot more comfortable in this flying under wires. My overall opinion on the Thrush, I can sum that up in a couple of words. I love it. It's a pleasure to fly, a joy to fly, and yeah, I hope to be flying for the next 10 to 15 years, and I really enjoy it.